Welcome to CATtheMinion Patreon. This is going to be a relationship reading. So every other week I'm doing a twin flame reading, and then on the other weeks I'm doing a regular relationship reading. So just to get this started, I'm going to do my regular relationship inquiry reading. I might come up with a different spread later on, but right now I'm just going to use this one. It's going to be for the collective, whatever energies are coming out right now. So think of a person that you're in a relationship with, in some sort of, or situationship, relationship, anything that applies. And think of you and your person, and I'm gonna lay out the spread on camera, and I do have the charms for this, because I do the charms on the Patreon channel, my handy boxo charms. Oh, I think I did clear these. Okay. So I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, I'm using the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, I'm using the Lover's Oracle over here, and I'm using my combined deck of historical fashion playing cards and Tim Burton cards. Alright, how am I doing this? What am I doing? Oh, this is the joint one. I haven't done this spread in a while, so I'm a little bit not remembering what I'm doing. So I'm going to lay these out and then I'll explain how it works. That came out kind of sideways. Those are jumpy. Whoa, that one almost flung right off the table. So this is going to be basically a mirrored spread, and this can be for any relationship. It doesn't have to be specifically a masculine or feminine thing either. It's a little bit more universal. At least it came out as a pair. I think this one actually goes here. The right one? I think that was the wrong one. Okay, there we go. That's better. I forgot what I was saying. It's just you and your person. It's not, you don't have to worry about divine feminine and divine masculine, although depending on what cards come up, maybe it will end up being more specific, but we'll see. Everybody has both masculine and feminine energy anyway, so it doesn't really matter altogether. And a lot of the time, it's representing part of a duality. It could easily just be hot, cold, dark, light, wet, dry. Pair there as well. Any kind of opposites. I should set this up the other way because it's long, but whatever, I already did it this way. I'm gonna be able to move all the crap off my table right now because I'm like in between projects. I had to stop doing a project to make room to do all the tarot readings that I need to get done before the end of the month. Sliding all over. What else was I gonna say? This is already for Patreon. I have a lot of, got a lot of different art stuff going on too, some of which is on Patreon. So I'll use this I need from that one. That's all I need from this guy. Alright, I don't have room on the table, so I'm going to put this card underneath the other ones. Because I'm going to use it after that. And I'll try to get everything in the camera in a minute. Who's the charms after? Cards. Apparently whoever's on this side isn't as chatty. I think that goes here. Wish I hadn't seen that. It kind of makes it harder for me to tell where it goes if I catch a glimpse of the card by accident. Both of these. Another one that flipped over, so we'll do that one too. Okay, so this spread, can't get all of it in there. Let me make sure that I've got this focused. It's probably fine before I messed with it. It's really hard to see for me. I think that's pretty close. Okay. So this side is usually like the querent side, and this is the other person's side. But if you resonate more with this side, then that's fine too. Just sort of one side is you, one side is your person, and if it needs to be the other way, that's fine. You should know which one you are. Okay? This is the relationship so far. And these three cards are the point of the relationship. This heart card that's hiding underneath there is like an advice card, or just sort of like a final commentary. And I'm going to be using the charms as well once I get these cards flipped over. So, additionally, the way this reading runs is this whole row up here is Wands energy. This is that like soul inspiration, core being, gut feeling kind of an energy. This is Cups energy. This is emotional content. This is Swords energy. That's like how you're thinking or how you're communicating, or both. This is Pentacles energy. This is how things are manifesting, what's going on maybe with resources, or what's happening in your physical body. And then this is the 5D. This is like the person's higher self. This is the 3D. This is just sort of like what you can see is what you get. And the same thing over here for the other person, 3D and 5D. I think that's everything. So I'm gonna get a sip of water and then I'll start reading. Reading is fundamental. Anywhere on the scale from fun to completely mental. Okay. Alright. So, person one, whether it's you or the other person, the sort of core purpose energy from their higher self is the moon inverted. Okay? So we're dealing with Cancerian energy because the moon rules Cancer, but we also have Piscean energy because Pisces rules the moon card for some weird reason. So, and it's also telling me Neptune retrograde, which is what we're in right now. There's like an illumination of the feelings by this sort of like drudging through like the bottom of the thing. Okay, so it's kind of like this person's current motivation is emotional illumination, like deep trolling. And I don't mean like don't feed the trolls on the internet. I mean like an ocean fishing troller or whatever it's called, trawler. The higher self emotional energy is the Knight of Cups. Okay? So this idea of going deep into the emotions is in order to gain the illumination, and then once you wake up from this, right, going from the moon to the sun, waking up, daybreak energy, a knight is a 1 or a 12. It would be like the Hanged Man being turned right side up. And the Hanged Man is also Neptune, and if you flip that over, you get the upright knight energy, which is what we have kind of twice in a row, Neptune retrograde, allowing for emotional clarity and purpose for whoever this person is, whether it's you or your relationship-y. So in the thoughts, we have a double here for the higher self. We have the 8 of Cups and the World. So this is actually a really strong combination. 8 and 3, because this 21 breaks down to 3, is 11, which is either a twin flame number, which is fine if you're twin flames. If you're not, that's fine. But it's sort of like the union of the two opposites of the person and the other person. It also has to do with universal timing. Okay, so the 8 of Cups, there's a moon on this card, also inverted, which tells me illumination. But in general, the 8 of Cups here, Saturn in Pisces. So we have Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde again. And we're going into this deep place where we have the illumination and this cleansing, right? We're dredging. That's the word I needed. We're dredging the bottom and getting rid of this crust, right? We're getting the mucky leaves out of the bottom of the lake so people can go to the beach without getting disgusted. So the World here, and I'm getting this particularly right now. How much time have I got? I'm seeing it as timing as well. The astrological calendar, right? It can also be the precession of the equinoxes, but I'm seeing it just as like we're changing from Leo to Virgo right now, and then it's going to change again. So there's like, I am really getting through this as the things are turning, right? As the world is turning, and that also indicates these planets that are retrograde are going to be flipping soon, especially Saturn, which is, what's this? Earth, Saturn. So Saturn's going to be flipping upright within the next few weeks, and that's going to help people get rid of this stuff that they don't need anymore. This is a perspective thing. Like, okay, I'm opening up emotionally, and now I can look at it objectively and know that I'm good to dump this grief case, this emotional baggage. Like, all right, I'm feeling it. Like I'm being pinged by the universe to do it. I'm feeling it. I'm thinking it. So let's see what's happening. What the higher self wants to be manifest. Okay, so we have an 8 again. 8 of Pentacles combined with a Magician inverted. A lot of time, I got the Magician inverted when I was doing a reading. Oh, it was the regular pick a pile for YouTube. I just did it. I got the Magician inverted, and to me it's This idea that the magician inverted is somebody who's trying to like skip a few steps by like presto changeo instead of actually doing the work, right? You don't get to like skip a space. You have to stay and roll the dice again. Okay. Now notice this 8 minus 7. 8 minus 1 equals 7, which is sort of chariot energy. Or it could also be 7 of pentacles, which is that like waiting for the harvest energy. So there's this idea of like, oh, okay, I actually need to be doing this work and taking my time and paying attention to the details. I'm doing this work. I'm really like actually in reality, and I'm not trying to skip over this unnecessary emotional work. 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, look at this, the Sun in Virgo. So it's literally like this next month coming up. So we have timing, we have the month that Virgo's happening, and then we have like and I just said the shift to Virgo, and then also the Saturn going direct. So this is saying work is going to be like really hitting that stride right in the next couple of weeks month here. So this person, this is the message that's coming down from their higher self. But we're going to say like, okay, well, what is registering to them in their own like day-to-day life? Okay. So from this Wands perspective up here, we have the Queen of Wands. That's actually good. It's, you know, I'm creative, I'm psychic, I'm relating to my passions. I've got royal wands and wands. And then we have water is a feminine suit, so we have the feminine royal here. I'm in touch with my emotions, but I'm also super passionate, and I see this pink here which says emotional content to me also. What is the Queen of Wands? Of course, it's Pisces and Aries. So she's coming in with, I'm just saying she because it's a queen. This queen energy is coming in with that Neptunian energy and saying, aha! Yes, I'm getting it. This old thing, oh, it's just something I dredged out of my closet. The skeletons. So emotionally, 3 of Wands. Interesting. So cups all down here, and then wands all down here. 3 of Wands. The future's so bright I gotta wear shades. Mars in Capricorn. No, wait. The Sun in Aries. Wow, as if I knew what the hell I was looking at. Okay, so this was Pisces in Aries, and now the Sun is in Aries. It's saying I'm super passionate about gaining this skill with the water, with the cleaning and the treading of the water and the psychic intuition. And now moon inverted sun energy, I am able to see my future more clearly. Everything's looking brighter. 13 and 316, the Tower. It's like I'm restructuring my life now that I can set out on this new journey. 1 and 3, 13, or 12 and 3. The Devil, which is Capricorn energy, which means that Saturn direct again, but also night 12 breaking down to 3 plus a 3-6 healing, or the 6 of Wands, like victory and public recognition. Okay, so the mental place here, 7 of Cups. Okay, so in the 3D, mentally, it's like, okay, everything's starting to open up, but I'm still a little bit confused as to what I'm doing. Like, am I doing this? Am I doing that? What's all this? What's the BBD here? What's the bigger, better deal? Like, ooh, a pony. And I'm getting this idea that in the 3D, this thinking is trying to get to this 8 of Cups, but they're not all the way there yet. They're at a 7, so it's sort of like, if you're in a relationship with them, you might think that they're not that into you, but they're trying to like flip through this Rolodex of emotional content. You know, it's like, oh, I tried on this outfit. Let me try on this outfit. How does that look? How do I feel with this feeling? 7 of Cups energy. Venus in Scorpio. So I did say there was 13s up here. This is a 13 or a 1. This could be a 1, and that would give me a 13 looking here. 8 and 7, 15, the devil energy. Interesting, okay. And then the Empress is this sort of abundant character, which is also bring in this background element of Libra, which would be an air element of thinking. So it's sort of like I'm trying to give some balance in my feelings, but I'm still trying to figure out which is the thing that's going to actually give me growth. And the physical thing, 2 of Wands inverted. Okay. 2 of Wands, Mars in Aries. Mars is in Aries right now, or at least it was. And what I'm getting is like the ego's last stand. The choice is already made. This kind of looks like somebody made Frida Kahlo into like a completely white Victorian lady. 2 of Wands inverted. What does this mean? You don't get to choose the easy way. You have to do the work. Starting to realize that there isn't any huge choice that has to be made, that I have the ability to intuit what's right. 3 minus 2, 1, the Ace. 3 minus 7, 3 is 10, 12, the Hangman. It's very interesting that it's almost all Wands in the 3D. It's also a little bit of like whatever I'm working on is the right choice. I don't have to think about it. It's sort of like my body is guiding me on its own. Like autopilot, kind of. So this other person over here, whether it's you or the partner, it's just whoever's not on this side. In the Wands section for their higher self, we have Queen of Cups in a challenge position. So it's similar energy to what's going on over here. It's a little bit mirrored, and it's like I'm having a hard time being balanced in my nurturing with my emotions, and maybe a little bit of a hard time psychically. Queen of Cups here. Gemini and Cancer. So we might have some North Node energy affecting this here, and then something to do with a moon phase as well. And the emotional content here is the Hermit inverted. Now this came out in my pick a pile readings also, the Hermit inverted. And for me it was like a little bit of like, oh, the cat's out of the bag, or I'm afraid to come out. But the Hermit inverted with the Roman numerals, it goes from a 9 to an 11. That's like, I'm going inside to illuminate, and also sometimes this to me is like I'm looking outside for validation, maybe, which is why I don't feel balanced all the way in my kind of nurturing of my emotions. The Hermit is Virgo energy. Interesting. Because I had Virgo over here as well. Now, 13 can be a 1 or the 13. The Queen can be the 1 or the 13, which could be the death and transformation cycle as well. Somebody had... Somebody had Scorpio energy, I thought. Maybe I just misread that. Okay. Well, anyway. Oh, this was Scorpio. Okay. The thoughts for this other person over here coming from their 5D. The Four of Swords. Okay, so this has come out a lot for me with that pick a pile as well. Jupiter in Libra. So there's been some other Libra energy here as well. There's this idea of trying to balance, trying to establish some kind of unity between this sort of polarities of like emotionalness and emotionally on top of it. This 13 breaks down to the 4. It's like I'm chilling because I'm going through my transformation. I'm in my cocoon. I'm recharging my batteries. I'm plugged into the charger and my light hasn't turned green yet. Nine and 4, 13, death cycle again. What was that energy? Jupiter, Sagittarian energy, which is the south node, and I said Gemini, north node over here, I thought, but maybe I didn't. So we're thinking in Swords energy, which is actually good. It's like having the emotions and the emotions and the wands and the wands. So this person is really thinking things over. Their directive is to think over what's causing this this sort of backlog of emotional content where it's always looking outside instead of within. Now I'm taking the time to sit with myself for a minute and think about it. I'm trying to give a new foundation to my thought process. And then manifesting the 5 of Pentacles. This came out in the other thing too. Mercury in Taurus. Gemini energy. I think Virgo energy too, is that right? Yeah, Virgo. And these pentacles here, especially with the 5, it's sort of a breakdown of the devil. It's like I feel I'm looking to others for approval, and the net feeling is that in reality I feel like I'm always missing out. Alright, so let's see what's going on with this person in their 3D, in their prime directive here. Ace of Wands. Wow, that's really strong. It's like, and I said Ace of Wands here if you subtract these. Look at me, I'm fancy. That blue energy is giving me throat chakra too. It's like, I don't want to say overconfident. It's like they've caught sight of the goal. There's a fire under their ass for number 5, change. emotionally, we're getting Six of Cups. So despite what's going on here, Six of Cups, the Sun in Scorpio. It's like, let's light up the darkness. Let's give death some glow sticks and party. This is also, Six of Cups is, I'm getting screamed at to say it's the feminine energy's open heart chakra. But it's also, like, thinking fondly about the past. I'm going to come back to that. 1-6 Tower. Also the Chariot. Well, let's see what they're thinking about. So this is inverted. 9 of Swords inverted with 9 of Pentacles upright. I don't want to be in a nightmare. I want to grow all my stuff nicely. This is like half moon nightmare, half moon dream. Together it gives me the whole moon over here. It's like I'm thinking about what I want. I'm thinking about what I don't want, what upsets me. I'm dreaming of what's gonna make me feel like safe and content in the real world, and what I want to end. Like, I want to stop the nightmare. 9 inverted. And of course 18 breaks down again to 9. Then we have 10 completion, 15 the Devil, 16 the Tower. And the Devil, again, Capricorn energy, that Saturn pull of it about to come out of retrograde. And physically, we're getting, wow, we have another 2. We have 2 of Pentacles. This is like another choice card. Inverted. So they're both inverted. Jupiter and Capricorn, of course. So we have that South Node energy, and then we have Saturn retrograde on top of it. So there's a mirroring going on between these two people in some of the energies and also numerically. I'm trying to juggle too many things, which is the thing I'm going to do. Well, I'm not going to juggle stuff anymore. I'm not going to hem and haw between what hurts me and what I want. It's like I'm opening up to... It's like I felt fine in the past, but now I want everybody to love me. But if I realize that the past is like, okay, I feel good, and now I'm like this nightmare where I'm always trying to chase someone to make me feel better, what I really need is to stop oscillating between what everyone else wants me to do and what I want to do, and what feels the best, what feels like safe and homey and nostalgic to me in some way. So what's really interesting is that there's like a lot of power going on in the 3D for this person, and the 5D is like, look at all this crap that you've got to deal with, whereas this one is like, aha, look at all this stuff we have planned. In the 3D, they're just like, oh, I'm in a little trouble here. But the 1s here and the 2s here is really interesting. Alright, so let's look at what's going on between them so far. So the sort of prime gut directive of what's been going on so far is a journey. 17. So this replaces where the star would normally be in this deck. But notice we have the dark and the light here. We're trying to unify this opposites. We're trying to unify these opposites and, you know, see what's needed and not needed. And it's like, and then we have this transformation down here, which goes back to the 13s with the Queen. You know, I'm not going to be jaded by the hard times. I'm going to be somewhere in the dawn between the night and the day. This is like, up till now, it's been a journey so far. Like, oh my God, let me tell you. And then emotionally, in their interaction so far, we have the Four of Swords inverted. So we're getting this same energy in the emotional space, and this is waking up energy. And notice again, we have this dark and light duality here. The whole thing is to wake up to the point that you don't have to wallow in the darkness, but you know that it's part of what keeps things moving. Every retrograde isn't there to hurt you, it's there to dredge up things that are otherwise ignored. And communication between them, or what they think about each other. Eight of Swords inverted. Now the Eight of Swords is the mental prison, but here also I'm seeing duality, and it's a little bit different in this deck what it means. But notice one hand is cutting and the other one is just balancing there. And to me it's like you can either be calm with your words, or you can bite with your words. You can heal or you can kill. And this Eight of Swords energy inverted is a lot like this Nine of Swords energy inverted here. It's saying I'm releasing the being confined to this space where we just keep like fighting and then making up, or insulting and then being like, oh, I'm sorry, or just thinking the other person's out to get you, and then, you know, oh, maybe they're not. So that's where it's been so far. It's been I've been trying to break out of this. And notice we have 12 inverted total, which is the Hanged Man, which is like, again, it's this idea of trying to wake up out of this struggle of not being able to see the other person clearly because maybe there was some emotional baggage, or hoping they would validate you when you really need to have some kind of openness for your own self. Right? Healing of the inner child, that's what that is. I need a sip of water. Alright, so manifest physically in this relationship so far, I'm going to double here. So I have the Sage, number 7, which is in place of where the wheel would normally be in tarot. And then I have the 5 of Swords. Okay. This is reminding me a little bit of the 2 of Swords in a regular deck. And then the Sage here for me is a lot like the Hermit and the Magician combined. So notice I have a Hermit here, and then I have a rough equivalent here. Right? We're trying to get wisdom from the journey at a point where we can interact with people without wearing a mask, without worrying that someone's being fake. Do they love me, or are they gonna hurt me? Are you gonna come at me? Like, who's gonna have the last word in this argument? And I see these dragonflies here, which to me also represents some transformation. These feathers for like sort of going higher. Is this inverted? I don't know, but it's coming out of that energy. It's like understanding the wisdom from this. And I have 7 and 5 here, and that's the Hermit again, of that trying to wake up and learn something and go inward and get some universal enlightenment and come back. So it's this sort of kind of like this breathing in and out with this relationship so far, of trying to get to this space of, you know, the whole point is to have some sort of moving balance. You're not just gonna, you know, I'm sit here and you sit here. It's like, oh, let's chase each other around and see if we can keep this thing balanced. Okay. So, what's this? Okay, so that's thus far. So let me shove this whole situation up here. I'm gonna get some charms on this stuff. And since I just shoved the cards, we're just gonna pretend like you remember what I was talking about. When I was shuffling these before the reading, the cube fell out of the box, and to me that was representing a 3D manifestation. Okay, that's it. All right. So even though I moved these cards, the F-bomb landed right on the 9 of Swords. It's like, I'm not doing this fucking shit anymore. I have a stop sign over here, kind of near this 2 of Pentacles. It's like, I'm gonna stop oscillating. Like, I'm gonna stop juggling these two concepts of, like, are they out to get me? Is it okay? Are they out to get me? It's okay. It's like, I need to stop trying to toss this around. So over here off to the side, I think, yeah, I've got an egg. So this is something new that's happening. That would be that kind of Ace of Wands energy, and also that Knight of Cups energy as well. It's like something's going to start here. We go from the world, the end, to another new beginning with the 0 right after it again. Look at this. I've got the dragon and the sun right next to each other. Right? So we have fire and fire facing each other, just like up here. Right? This could be the ace and this could be the queen. Or vice versa. Actually, this could be the ace because the fire comes out of the dragon and it'd be sitting right on the egg like that. And then this would be the queen because it's already sitting there like radiating. Okay. Now over here I have the world. This is the earth. So we have the world next to this hand with a ring on it, right? It's like, oh, the world's in my hand now. And with it, the watch. So again, it's this time. I said the time of this, the things changing, of the signs. And it also could be, you know, it could be a wedding ring, because that's the way I drew it, but it's like, again, that egg kind of a shape. It's like I'm going to be like closing in, like it's like the new thing is in my grasp. Okay, so I have this man figure over here, and going the other way near him I have a Polaroid. I can see where I've been. That's how it, and the tower, well, not the tower, it's a 16-ton weight. So it's like I'm coming away, I'm moving away from the tower. Let's show those a little better. Okay, alright, this is instant karma, right? Like this, a 16-ton weight right on this Polaroid, like, look what you've just done. Ka-chunk, right? I don't need to stay in these karmic cycles where I keep building more and more crap. And I don't know whether this is saying that whatever was happening to that was the masculine energy or not, but this is the man figure, the masculine energy. because the feminine figure is different, but it also just means sort of linear planning as well. It's like, again, it's like that, a little bit like stopwatchy, like, okay, let me take the notes and write the stuff. Alright, what do we got over here? I've got a cowboy hat next to what's supposed to be a sneaker, but kind of looks like a work boot, like a high-top sneaker. And next to it, I have a birthday cake going the other way and the flying saucer, which is kind of like my chariot in this set. I mean, the shoe indicates movement, because it's a sneaker, it's like I've got to run somewhere. The cake was going the other way. It's like I'm not going to... I just heard the cake left out in the rain, that god-awful MacArthur Park song. Oh, look at this! I set it down, and oh my god, this is ridiculous. I just kind of had it flopped here. And this is how it landed. How cool is that? It's my time. Okay. This is hilarious. To me, this is indicating that these are all, like, I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I'm traveling. I'm running. I'm getting in my saucer. I'm putting my cowboy hat on, and I'm going to get ready to go saddle up my horse. The cake going the other way, especially with that someone left the cake out in the rain, it's coming on this sage card from the journey. It's like, you know, our relationship has been a struggle, because it's like we want to go, but we want to get there, but we're having a soggy cake kind of day where it's like we were going to celebrate, but now we can't. So, my throat, okay. So these cards here, they're supposed to be 3, but I got a double down here, is what the purpose of the relationship is. We kind of extracted that from where the journey's been, but it's like, what's the whole point of interacting with someone else? What's the point of the journey? Why are we doing this? Okay. Is that the 4? 4 of Swords, again, which came out twice already, I think. Is that right? Oh, this was the 6 of Swords. My bad, I read that wrong. It's because I'm tired. This is the 6 of Swords. It's not the 4. This is the we need to go deeper energy. Mercury in Aquarius. Uranus retrograde. Okay. Now, the way that I was talking about it basically means the same thing, but instead of waking up, it's we're going deeper. Like, get in, losers, we're going deeper, okay? So the journey needs to go deeper in order to... the journey has gone deep to where these wounds are created, and we're trying to figure out in the dark why it's always, you know, oh, you hurt me, but let me put on a mask and pretend it's okay. But we're learning from it. And this point right here is why the cake is soggy. So I'm sure that I read the way I did for a reason, but this is the 4 here. So we have the 4 of Swords. This is actually Jupiter in Libra. Very studious looking too. It looks like it's setting up like an electrical grid. We have a clock here, which to me tells me timing as well. And this is the same card. Right, I said recharge my batteries. This looks like a robot being recharged. Heaven and Earth. Okay, so this is the Page of Pentacles in this deck. And it's inverted. We'll get to that in a minute. 11. Okay. And then this double here, I have perception 21, which is where the world would be, with this very swords-looking character. And then Queen of Air 13, which is where the Queen of Swords would be, but inverted. Okay, let me think about this. Air was like heaven. Okay. So the energies here, the point of this relationship is to get some kind of understanding that the way that you think about and the way that you interact with the world around you, the perception of it, is more relevant to how you feel, whether you feel like you have heaven on earth or whether you feel like everything sucks, than really anything else. It's basically all mental energy here, right? How you perceive the other person and how you speak to them determines what you can manifest. Notice that this upright card here, perception, which has the world number on it, is like a dark angel, right? You have to troll the depths in order to gain this true perspective on what your reality is, and you have to be able to process the information. Queen of Swords inverted is kind of that off with your head energy. It's like, I can't understand. So this Queen of Swords inverted energy is like, I can't understand you, like off with your head. It's this energy here of sort of like fighting even if you don't want to, because you're either both or someone's not able to see from the other person's perception, their perspective. All right, so we have this like quick on the throttle energy is what's turning this heaven and earth thing. I see 11, I see 13. This breaks down to 4. It could be 15. Saturn inverted energy, this sort of trying to come unbound, but this also breaks down to 2, which breaks back down to 15, but also a lack of healing. So the whole point of this is to address what healing that's not happening because you haven't taken time to reflect on someone else's perception of what's going on. I need some charms for that. I think that might be it. Let me try it from the other side though. Ooh, that one tried to fall off the table. Oh! Oh! One more. Okay. No, okay. I'm gonna shoot. Oh, okay. Alright. The icosahedron, but I'm gonna put it back in. I'm gonna keep these ones on the heart over here. Alright, so I've got this kissy mouth over here with the champagne, which is on the 2 of cups in the Assyrian Starseed deck, I think. I also have tulip over here, the tulip. Oh, no, it's not going to make me tell this joke, is it? I have the cute face and the piano going the other way. So there's this rude joke. It's, would you rather have tulips on your piano? No, would you? I said it wrong. Would you rather have roses on your piano or tulips on your organ? And because of these charms here, I had to retell that. But we also have this idea of, you know, making up and partying, like kiss. I can't believe I had to tell that joke and then I had to tell it wrong. So over here on this area, I have this ruler over here by the stop that fell out. It's like we keep stopping or trying to get further than this, but like every time we get like 2 seconds, we have to stop and do this over and over again. So this way I have this is a waste paper basket, and I have this lily here. And also a tetrahedron. Now this and this are actually really similar. There's two intersecting triangles that make up the petals of this flower. And I feel like this is like the structure of the universe. But why is it going in the trash? It's like, it's kind of like the structure of your universe, heaven and earth, is garbage if you're constantly in this conflict. It's like, can't we kiss and make up? Let's have some fun. But let's see what's over here. I have the sugar bowl and the key. So it's sort of like the key to overcoming it is to be sweet to each other and not just automatically go into bite mode. Okay. Boobs. Okay. So this card here, okay, this is like multiple timelines, skipping timelines. That's how I see that. We have this, it kind of looks like heaven and earth together. We're trying to get some growth. We're trying to get something going. We're down at the root of the problem. We're trying to establish this love foundation. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you'll be surprised where it leads, okay? So it's like, if things start shifting, if you flow with the shift instead of go into like, wait, stop, I don't like this mode, you'll find that you'll be able to complete the cycle faster. Do I have anything that combines to 10 here? These break down to 6, I think, right? What was that? 11 and 4 is 15, which breaks down to 6, and 4 is 10, and 3, 13, death again. So there's a 10 and a there's this idea of completing a cycle, going through a transformation, and coming out in this higher realm, which is what we've got going on here. Constantly shifting cycles. The world is also related to the wheel, and there was some Jupiter energy here as well, which is the wheel. Now the pants almost fell off the table, which suggests more of this sexy times energy. Like, we just fucking toss them. I also have a top hat, which is sort of like a little bit formal as well. It's like, let me come in all proper and, you know, reestablish this in the proper way. Alright, oh wow! So I have the peace and the yin yang symbol. Right? Let's make up between us. Let's become our matched set again. It's the dark and the light balance. Wow, okay, that's great. So it's a struggle, it's working it out, it's understanding what's coming down from the energies coming in for the next couple of weeks here. Alright, my throat is friggin' dying. Alright, if you want to get a personal reading, hit me up. CATcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. These are all my other locations. I'm gonna try to get this in focus a little better. I've got merch and prints and art and all kinds of stuff. I don't feel like going through the whole thing. If you're on Patreon, you've probably seen some of this already. I'm gonna say thank you for supporting me, and I hope this reading was useful. Take it easy, and we'll see you later. Bye.